Hi everybody, welcome back. So today we're going to be taking a look at the Core RTA. This is by Vapefly and German 103. Yeah, so it's a 25.2 millimeter RTA. It does hold 2 mils of e-liquid with the straight glass, 4 mils of e-liquid with the bubble glass. The bubble glass is kind of iridescent on the rainbow, which is the one that I have, which I think is great. This was sent to me by a subscriber and a patron of mine, Danny Eden. So I want to say thank you so much for sending this my way. Not gonna, diminish any of my opinion or anything. I'm gonna give you my straight up honest opinion. I'm gonna show you how to build it, how to wick it, and then we're gonna come back up and yeah, so let's go ahead and take a look at the Core RTA. Okay, so here we are with the Core RTA by Vapefly. This was sent to me by a subscriber, so thank you very much, Danny Eden. He did send this to me because I am an RTA lover, and he figured that I would love this, so here we are. I'm going to go ahead and review it. Again, this is from Vapefly, but it's also by German 103. And what German 103 is it's actually a collective, and it gives a little bit of information here. It's a German 103 team. It's a team of 103 vaping enthusiasts that came together to actually create the best atomizer that they could with all their ideas and things like that. So they called it the German 103 because there are 103 German members in it. And yeah, it tells you a little bit about the features. You've got your scratch off authenticity, and then this is the box that it comes in. You're going to have this Core RTA. You're also going to get an extra bubble glass. It does come with the straight glass, which holds 2 mils of e-liquid. With the bubble glass, it does hold 4 mils. And it looks like it's got that iridescent sheen to it, which I really, really love about bubble glasses. And you've also got a couple pieces of the Vapefly Firebolt cotton. I've actually only tried it when it's been included in an RTA or an RDA. So I really, really am interested in testing this out more. So I'm going to see if I can get some more. But so far, I've had really good flavor with this cotton. You're also going to get a bag of extras. You've actually got this little plug here. This can be used as dual or single coil configuration, which is awesome. It's also got some additional clamps in there, screws. You've also got your stainless steel 510 drip tip adapter, and then of course your it's got a thick bag of stuff in here. I'm really, really surprised. The only thing the bag does not come with is coils, so I did want to let you know about that. You're also going to be getting this card here. This is the member list for the German 103 design team. It's literally got every single one of their names on it. I think that this is absolutely amazing. 103 people coming together for innovation. That's what I'm talking about. And then of course you've got your user manual. Very, very simple. It does come in 4 colors as shown here: rainbow, black, stainless steel, and gold. And then you can open it up. It does have different languages in it. This one is the English part. It just tells you about the airflow. It's going to tell you how to take it fully apart if you want to, what each part is. So you have that. Now, talking about the RTA, which is, of course, the star of the show. And again, I am a fan of RTAs. RTAs to me are key. I really, really love them. So, yeah, that's why this was sent to me for review and to love. All right, so on top, you're going to have an 810 drip tip. And this does take any 810 drip tips that you have. Being that there is an O-ring on the inside, you can actually interchange it. The only thing is that being that it does have this shape going up, you want to make sure that it doesn't overlap this, so it doesn't give you any type of overlapping. But for the most part, most of them do fit. I think I had one that was a little bit too far over, but other than that, it's great. I love this knurling over here. It's very, very easy to grip, and you just go ahead and turn it like this. Very smooth threading. You've got a basket here, very big openings for your top fill juice system, and then it closes up really smooth as well. And just thread that on there. On the bottom, this is a 25.2 millimeter RTA. Yes, 25.2. It does have the rainbow following through the whole thing down to the bottom, which I really, really like. It does say Core here, and then of course it does say designed by the German 103 team and Vapefly in your serial number. It does have a protruding 510. So there are 2 airflow slits. Whatever you do to one side does happen to the other, and you just move it like this. To get inside to the deck, all you're going to do is unscrew the base, and you open it up like this. This is going to be your deck portion. This is where you would actually take it apart to switch out your glass or to clean it. So all you do is just pop off the glass here. I'm actually, of course, going to be using our 4 milliliter glass because I do like the number one, the bubble look to it, and I do like the bigger juice capacity. So I think it looks awesome, especially with the iridescence going on the glass. I'm talking a lot about this glass. Yes, I am. Oh, sorry about that. Okay, it does have a reduced domed type of chamber here, so that is to maximize the flavor. So for this RTA, you're going to get the best flavor because of this. It is very reduced. The deck actually looks very big, but it's really not. It's very, because it's in the inner side of it that fits into this chamber, it is reduced, but the size is very easy to build on. I will let you know about that. You do have your flathead screws here. Of course, they are gold plated. Then those are where your clamps are. You see your clamps? These are what I told you that it came with extra clamps. It's actually a clamp system. So when you unscrew these clamps actually go up, and it does have a shared lead post design. You've also got the honeycomb type of airflow on the bottom as well as on the side. So you're going to be getting full on airflow around your coil coming from the bottom all the way to the side, and then, you know, just hitting those coils. So I really like that idea. To me, it's very innovative because it's hitting everything. It's not just bottom, it's not just side, it's actually hitting all of it. And being in a reduced chamber, it's just going to take it in like a circular motion. So that's awesome. You do have your wicking channel right here and your wicking channel right here. One thing I am going to warn you is you don't want to choke this out. If you do choke it out by having too much cotton in it, of course, you're going to be getting dry hits. But the greatest part about this is that it is an RTA where you can actually flip upside down, take out your build deck and fix your wicking, and then put it back in, and you're not going to lose any juice capacity. So that to me is a plus. You do have one nice O-ring here. Now, when I did take it apart first with this glass, I do want to let you know that that O-ring did attach to the glass. So just make sure that if it does that and you're taking off your glass to change it, that you pull off the O-ring and put it right back into the base, because without that, it will leak. So I did want to mention that. Then, of course, as I mentioned before, you do have your flathead screws, and they are really, really nice. Everything on this is machined really well, and having 103 people looking at it, I can't blame them. That it should be that way. Very, very smooth threading. If you notice, there's no crunching, no grinding. I really love that. And then, of course, once you lift up your screws, that's where your post will lift up as you're unscrewing this. So I like the system. Not a fan of shared posts, but for this, because it opens up so big and it actually takes it with it, so it's not like you have to push it up yourself. I think that that's great, and it makes it just for a little bit more ease of use. Now, again, they do have this plug. So if you're into single coil RTAs, you can go ahead and put that plug in. It's actually going to plug right into these sides, or one of the sides of the air wicking channels, and it'll sit right on top of that so that you don't have any airflow coming in, and you won't have any problem because you're only going to have the single coil. So you only have to wick it for a single coil. I think having that is another huge pro for me, because I do like to have options. Not everybody likes dual coil, and not everybody likes single coil. So having that option is awesome. So I'm going to go ahead and put this on a mod, and then we're going to go ahead. Rainbow, of course, I'm going to put it on my Vaporesso Luxe ZV box. Why wouldn't I? It just looks beautiful together. So I've gone ahead and loosened up my screws. I'm going to loosen this one up just a little bit more because the other one's already loose. And one thing I am going to tell you is that I am going to be using my favorite coils. My Fuse Clapton coils from Coil Clout. You can use Wendy for 10% off. Just Wendy in all caps will get you the 10% off. And I'm going to take out a couple of these coils here. And then in addition to that, actually, because it is a shared post system, to make it easier, I am going to be using my coiling tool. Now, the great part about this is that if you don't know what to measure them in, all you need to do is you take this side here. This is why the coiling tool is the best tool, not the ones that come with the packages, but this one specifically, because it's got different ways to measure your coils with, is all you have to do is you put it this way, like this, and it's actually going to tell you based off of the millimeter that it's fitting, like how long your legs should be. So it fits nice at 4.5. Yeah, well, a 4.5 is actually perfect. So let's go ahead and cut them down to 4.5. And all you do is you just put it in here. Once you've measured it, you flip it over and you cut your leads. So that's it. That's all you got to do. So cut that one and cut that one. Let's cut this one a little bit more. I really need to get new cutters. I really do. And then that's your first coil. And then you just go ahead and cut your other one. 4.5. Flip it over. And cut. And cut. There we go. Make sure those are gone right there. And there's your second one. All good. Let me just fix that. My cutters are really bad. Sorry about that. This one. It just keeps pulling the wire. There we go. All right, so now what we need to do is just go build it. Also, coilclout.com does have this as well as the coils, and they actually have like some package deals, so that's awesome. So what I'm gonna do is just go ahead and grab this coil, and I'm gonna go ahead and place it in here. Like that. It fits absolutely perfectly. Look at that. It sits right there perfect. So I'm just gonna hold that one in place, come around the other side, and I'm gonna take the other one, I'm gonna put that one in. Just like this, and just like that, and just push those in, get those nice and even there, and we'll go ahead and screw those down. It is a shared clamp system, but it's not very hard because it's got such great big openings. It really fits really well. Just close those down. There we go. Straighten that up a little bit. Straighten that up a little bit. And then I'll clamp it down more. Tighten them down just a little bit more. Okay. Check it out, check it out. Now I do want to lift them up because you don't want them sitting on the airflow, so you do want to lift them up and then just maneuver them around. So they are really nicely low. There we go there. So the other side, pull that up, right about there. And then they're barely sitting right on the airflow, so you're gonna get the airflow coming in from the side as well as the bottom. So that's pretty much it. That easy to build on, especially when you have the right tools. That to me is key. Just gonna hairball this one up a little bit because of my OCD. There we go. And I'm just gonna drop this down so we can dry fire it. Okay, move that down. Okay, and let's go ahead and start dry firing our coils. I do have my ceramic tweezers with me. There we go. Starting to glow up right nice. There we go. Starting to discolor right there already. Get some coloring. Pull this one off a little bit. Lightly strum. And then you can also pinch them. Pinching them sometimes helps too. If you notice that they're not starting to glow right away. You see that right there? That's a hot spot. So you want to go ahead and get all the hot spots out. Lightly strum, like barely even touching it, strumming. Okay, now we've got them glowing nice and even. So I'm going to let these cool down and then we'll go ahead and put the cotton. And again, I am going to be using the Vapefly Firebolt cotton in this build. So let me go ahead and let that. So here we are. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the first strip here, and these are made for 3mm coils. I'm just going to go ahead and stick that right through there and then pull it out. There we go. Smaller mud, but yeah. So there we go. Oh yeah, baby. Just pull that through. And there we go. That's definitely enough right there. Okay, and I'm going to cut this end. I cut it right about there where the O-ring is. I'm going to move it on this side, and this is the greatest part of this cotton right here. Oh, don't fall off. Is that you can actually use it for both sides. Watch. Ha! One piece, both sides. You've literally got one to save. So I do like this cotton. So let's go ahead and trim that as well. And I'm going to trim this a little bit more. Even though this is a fluffier type of cotton, it already comes fluffy. I am going to just fluff it out just a little bit more because these wicking channels are a shared channel and you don't want to overstuff it. I do want to fluff it out just a little bit more. It's also going to thin it out a little bit more. So when you put it in there, it's literally not going to choke it. I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. And you don't want to cram it all in the channel. I'm going to show you how to wick this the best way that I know how. And then, of course, you know, everybody does it differently. You can do it to your liking. But this is the best way that helps me. Okay, so I'm going to do is trim these down a little bit more right at the lift right there. Okay, take that off. Do it on this side as well. And what I'm going to do is just bring it together so I can feel how thick it is together. That little straggly right there is driving me crazy. I'm sure that those of you that know me know it's driving me crazy. Okay, that's good. That's a little bit thick there. I can usually tell just by touching the cotton. And you will get there. If you're just starting off on RTAs and building and things like that, eventually you will get there. I promise you. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut some. Yeah, you know Wendy. Wendy makes her own decisions and then changes them, but it's women's prerogative. So there. Perfect. That's exactly what I want. That's you see it? It's exactly what I want. Right there. So I'm gonna put this one in, where it's like meaty in the middle, but it's not really touching anything. It's like barely even there. That is what I'm talking about. There we go. All right, so let's go ahead and juice this up. And for today's juice, I am going to be using my royal cheesecake. This is cheesecake with dragon fruit. It's my absolute favorite cheesecake ever. So I'm just going to go ahead and turn this up, and then we'll start wetting the wicks. Okay, I'm just going to put a little bit on my coil and then press the fire button. This is going to make sure that the juice is actually saturating to the cotton within the coil, because we want to get that wet first so we don't have any type of dry hits and we don't have any break-in time for our cotton. It'll literally go ahead and start giving us flavor from the start. Okay, which is the reason why I do that. Just in case you all didn't know. And then just go ahead and give it a little help along. Wet the sides here, wet them here. Get any last stragglies that you have, because I have to. And then that's what it looks like when it's all said and done. You see, it's not too much, it's not too little, it's just right. Okay, so let's go ahead and put the top on. All you have to do is you don't even have to remove it from your mod. Just go ahead and screw that down like that. Again, loving this bubble glass, like loving it, loving it. And then of course with the bubble glass, you do get the 4 ml capacity. So we're gonna go ahead and take the top off. Just go ahead and fill this baby. Okay, really, really easy to fill. Nice big filling holes. Huge plus right there. Okay. And tighten that down. And yeah, so let's go ahead and go on top. We'll vape on it, talk on it, and pros and cons. Okay, so here we are with the Core RTA. Before anything else, I'm gonna go ahead and have a vape so that you can see the vapor production and see how it works. And let me tell you, it looks hot as shit on here. I'm going to tell you right off the bat, the flavor is intense in this. This is giving me amazing, amazing flavor. I have to tell you that, first of all, I have to say thank you, Danny, because you were right. I do love it. I think that it's made for my type of building needs and the flavor that I'm looking for. Usually, I don't like the shared post system. Being that it's a clamp style and it opens up so much, it's very easy to build on. If you have something like the coily tool, it's actually going to make your life a lot easier than trying to cut the leads once you've already placed your coils. I think that saved me like half the time just using this. So I do want to mention that. The build quality of the RTA, I think, is amazing. I haven't had any issues with it. I've had it for going on 2 weeks, I think it is. And I love it. Everything about it, I love it. I love the flavor. I love the fact that it comes with the 510 drip tip adapter. I love this filling. Airflow is really, really nice as well. Very, very airy, very open. I love the flavor because of the fact that it is a reduced size chamber. Plus it's got the airflow coming in and on the side, out the side, sort of like in a circular motion around the coils. I think it's intensifying the flavor. So it gives you really, really good spot on flavor. Very easy to fill. One thing I usually don't like is the fact that there is no juice flow control when you are filling it and things like that, but I haven't had no leaking, which to me is a huge pro because I hate leaking. That literally, that can throw off an RTA for me completely. Like I will probably never even touch it again. If that leaking continues, then I can't get it to stop, especially when filling it. That drives me nuts. But this one doesn't have any. If you wick it like I showed you, you don't want it all the way down. You don't want it choking it out. And you do want to, keep it kind of compact, but not overly compact. If you try to do it the way that I did, thin it out. It is a trial and error for most people. But the great thing is that all you need to do is just turn it upside down, take it off, thin out your wicks a little bit more, put it in if you have too much. So I think that that's also a huge pro because if you can fix it, that to me is awesome and not lose any juice capacity. The bubble glass I think is awesome, and I love the fact that they did match it with the tank, so it is like an iridescent type of bubble glass. It's not just a plain one. So I think that it brings out the rainbow in the tank itself. I love the design that is on the chamber in there. I think that that's great, and being that it's a core, I'm guessing it's like a core mouth or something like that, and it's got those little things, but I don't care what it is. I think that it just gives it a little bit of pizzazz, so I do like that. Not everybody will, but I do. The deck is really, really easy to build on. As long as you're pre-cutting your leads, you will not have a problem. I like that it looks like it's a huge deck, but it's really not. But it gives you that feeling of having room to build. It gives you that feeling of you want to build on it. It's not like feeling like Barbie size. You know what I mean? So I really, really like that. The airflow coming in from the bottom and the sides, it intensifies the flavor. The flavor on this to me, I want to say is like an 8, 8.5, almost a 9. It's that good. Another reason why I think that the airflow is just amazing is because it is a honeycomb type of airflow, so it makes it that much smoother. I've been a fan of honeycomb airflow for over 2 years now, and I just love it. I think that it keeps away a lot of that turbulence that you used to get with certain types of RTA. So I think that was definitely a kicker. There's going to be a couple subjective cons. They're not necessarily my cons, but they are going to be cons for some of you out there, so I did want to mention it. Number one, they didn't bring any coils in it. You got cotton, you got everything. Oh, one more pro, the single coil plug. Having that single coil plug, I think, is key, because a lot of newer RTA builders don't necessarily like dual coils, or if they're having too much of a problem putting in the two in the shared post, they can actually cut off half of it and just have it as a single coil. So I think that having that option, of course, for Wendy is always a plus. So I did want to mention that. Anyways. So it comes with cotton, it comes with everything else that you need, but it does not come with coils. Personally, I never use the coils that it comes with because I have my own favorites. I know what they're made out of. I know what they're going to ohm out to, and this one actually is ohming out to a 0.17. Yeah, so to me, that's not really a huge con. For those of you out there, it might be. The wicking can be finicky. That's going to be a subjective con. Again, trial and error. Whenever you have an RDA or an RTA specifically, you definitely want to try out the wicking method a couple ways, because sometimes the very first time that you get it, you're not necessarily going to get it. So I don't want that to be a con for you. I just want you to be able to, know, hey, this didn't work. Now I know how to do it. Sort of a attitude towards it. So I don't want you to get frustrated with it. The 4 mil e-liquid capacity. That one is a subjective con for me, because I vape a lot. I'm a chain vapor. So for 4 mils for me, literally I can go in an hour through it. So I really wish that it would have been more of a 5 to 6 mil capacity, but I do like the flavor so much that it kind of evens it out for me. So I don't mind filling it as much because that flavor is there. There's no leaking. It's very, very easy. So it's not really a huge con for me right now, but I do like bigger mil capacities. That's just my little personal 2 cents. The shared post, for some, will be a con, but again, if you get coily tool, is amazing. It helps you out in so many different ways. So if you don't already have them, they're really, really inexpensive. I definitely suggest buying them, or at least picking one up. You can either go to coilclout.com and get them. He does have like little packages where it comes with coils and things like that, or you can even go to the coilytool.co.uk, I think it is, and pick it up. But I think that these are amazing and they're very helpful. Another huge pro is going to be that it comes in 4 colors. So there's a color out there for everyone. You've got rainbow, black, stainless steel, and gold. So it pretty much hits everything. The rainbow one I think is absolutely perfect. I think that they initiated the colors that it pulls right through. But again, that's just aesthetics. It's not really how it works or anything. But yeah, I want to mention that. Absolutely smooth airflow, absolutely amazing flavor. So yeah, if you want to pick this up, they do have it at myvpro.com. I do have a link down below for myvpro. They've also got it at Vapor DNA if you'd like to go there. They're running about $29.99 right now that I found it, and I definitely want to say that yeah, that it's definitely, if you like RTAs and you're looking for flavor and you're looking for options and something that's pretty easy to build and wick, I definitely recommend this. So again, this is the Core RTA by Vapefly and German 103. Again, the German 103 team did an amazing job coming together and collaborating on something that turned out just perfect. I think it's amazing. That's a lot of people. I can't even imagine. I can't even work with like 4 people on one decision. So 103 of you to get together to put this together, that's definitely props right there. So yeah, so that's it for my review. If you like the review, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. It does help me out. And if you have any questions or comments about it, leave it down below. As always, I will go ahead and respond to each and every one of you. And I will see you in the next one.